Hey guys, Mel here. Sorry that I haven't really done a longer video in a little bit. I have ideas all the time, but actually being motivated and everything to do them is another thing. And for the past few weeks, I also, my carpal tunnel on my left hand has been bothering me a bit more, which unfortunately also affects when I'm practicing violin. So I haven't, so that also, because I also have it kind of on my right hand too. So as I'm holding my iPad to film, I am kind of stabilizing my right hand. So anyway, I do have other videos. I also am hoping to film another artsy craftsy type of video after this, but I wanted to film this quicker one that I could just upload this one, and then the other one will require a little bit more editing, and I guess I could also sit down. But basically, other things that are kind of up with me. So at the end of this month, I do have like a GI consult to see where things are with that. It's all still mild, but I won't go into too much detail there. And then basically I also, my room has gotten messy again, so I have to clean that. Yes, I know I'm an adult and I have a messy room. I will blame my mother because she's the same way. So I do have to clean that. So that's also another reason why I haven't really filmed too much in my room. And like for artsy videos and stuff. And I also, just a lot of the days lately that I have off, I've just been too lazy to like really do much in the way of filming and stuff. It tends to cycle around, so that shouldn't, be all the time, but for a while it has been. So anyway, this video is just showing you a little bit of some plants that I'm trying to grow. Not sure if we'll get anything, but at least I try. So let's get started and see what I'm growing. First of all, if you're wondering, I got this cute little snail watering can at Target in their dollar spot. I think it was like $5. I had another metal one before. It was like the galvanized metal, but it started to get a little tiny bit like rusty or crusty or something on this part, so I decided to clean it off and turn that into like a little vase for fake flowers. So over here in this pot I've got some strawberry plants. I'm not sure what kind they are, so they might be the kind that won't quite bloom right now. This is one of our tomato plants that we bought. This one is actually growing quite nicely. As you can see, it's now over the stick that I bought, which this is just one of the s'more sticks that you can sometimes buy in a grocery store, but you can also just get a regular dowel. So this one's growing nicely, and so I love how tall he is, so he needs a little bit more water, or she, I don't know. So these are the two plants that I still have in pots right now. Over here, this tiny little plant is a forsythia bush that we are trying to grow. My mom always wants to grow them, but we haven't had luck so far. And then around that is a lot of weeds, which I had to clear out a lot of it. This was worse before. Some of the weeds are coming back. And because I don't know what's always like I should be clearing out, what I shouldn't, I did download on my iPod an app called, if I can get this, PictureThis. And so once it uploads, PictureThis app, when it is working, it basically, you can take a picture of a plant and then it will help identify what it is, because we've had a lot of like jewel weeds and other weeds, mustard, like that one's the mustard one. You click on the camera, you kind of take a picture, and then right now, if it says identification failed, it means that I have to wait until, that I might have to wait until I have until I have Wi-Fi, but it will save my picture, because it'll say poor connection, but it'll save my picture, and then once I have that, which I can click out of there, and then I can also go to my plants, which this has my list, so that one says ID in progress, but I have other places where it says like clear weed, the jump seed, the garlic mustard, which is what that is. So it's been helpful to have that, since I don't know always what plants I need to get rid of. So the PictureThis app is, pretty good. It's not 100%, obviously, and I'm only using the free version, but it's great to help me try to figure out like what plants are weeds that I should be getting rid of, and what plants that I should be keeping, especially as I'm trying to grow other plants. So it is helpful, because I don't know too much about identifying plants, and neither does my dad. He thinks that if it's doesn't have flowers, then it's probably a weed. So I do have to be careful with what I'm growing too, and where I'm growing it. So over in this little mulchy area, I've started trying to grow potatoes. I have them there, and I also have, along this mulchy area, some potatoes. Originally I was trying to grow carrots and stuff, however that didn't really take, so now it's trying to grow some potatoes. I also had originally tried to grow some raspberries, but because my dad didn't realize they were like raspberry plants, I think he accidentally took them out, so that ended up being a waste of $10, but we can try again next year. Then my dad also has some flowers that he's been growing, like these little purple ones, and he has another one that just started too. This one's got, you can see a little bit growing here, some sort of flower. His other one that he just is starting to bloom is this one, which is kind of hard to read it, but it is a Peter's Fancy Fuchsia. There we go. Peter's Fancy Fuchsia. So this one is starting, and I think because he didn't realize that it's only this beginning of summer, he started actually thinking that it wasn't going to bloom, and I think started to like get rid of some of it, but then I showed him that yeah, it is blooming, and reminded him that it's beginning of July, so it's summer's still closer to the beginning stage than the end, but at least that's growing. I have a couple other tomato plants here. These ones haven't grown as tall, unfortunately, but I still have them, trying them. These I just transplanted on July 4th. So these are some, I believe, just some green beans. I'm not sure the exact variety. I was just, whatever I bought, it was like green beans. And then I have here is trying to grow pepper plants, but I'm gonna have to, I can see already here, I'm gonna have to try to find some like way to keep bugs away from them. That's a safe way, but trying to grow them. Again, I don't really know what half of this stuff is. I know what ferns are. Obviously, I know what, that these are ferns. But aside from that, a lot of this stuff, we just don't really know. So I have to use my app to kind of figure it out, like what we could get rid of. And then we also have some stuff that's growing like in, not necessarily, like they don't necessarily grow where I've tried planting certain things, because I have tried planting certain things in the cinder blocks, but I think a lot of these could be things that have grown elsewhere and they're transferring. And this is also, I painted this a few years ago now. It was a pink flamingo, but now he's, much more colorful, much cuter. And I think that Chloe Rose should also paint this, because we all know she likes to paint a lot of different a lot of different items and stuff. So I really think that she should paint a pink flamingo, because it was very fun, and it's held up pretty well as long as I don't like scratch it. It's held up pretty well. So because I did the initial blue with spray paint, didn't really realize I should have like sanded it first, but oh well. And then I did the other colors and then splotched it with some white. So I really do love how he came out. Because going back here is where our other, our original, our other pink flamingo is. So you can see the difference. I think the only thing I really didn't do was the beak. I just left that as is. But I really do love how my flamingo came out. But we also have rose bushes. They haven't bloomed yet, so I'm not sure if they will or not. I can't remember if they bloomed last year. But it started off, we had like one. And then, so my dad was wondering how, again, it's gotten to like a couple different locations now. And it's probably that we have, that like, bugs and birds and stuff have probably, caused it, or the wind too, with the different seeds. This is another rose bush, as you can see, with the thorns. So it's really interesting how, how like plants can start off and like you could grow like one, and then it'll end up in another area. So I think that's really interesting. But over here, which I want it to do well, but I don't think it's going to. I planted some more of the green beans, and then also attempting corn, but it looks like the corn is not doing as well out here as I was hoping it was going to, because it was growing really nicely in a pot, but we will see how it will go. I was hoping, I never know what's gonna grow here, but on our property, so I try, and for me, as long as like one thing grows and is successful, right now I would be happy. Like, if I could get some green beans or something out of it, that'd be good. Obviously, I'm not going to get the raspberries I wanted, but So yeah, that's a little look at what I'm trying to grow. I don't really have a good green thumb, so I don't know if we'll get any like plants producing food or not. But I try, and if it doesn't work this year, maybe next year I will try just keeping everything in large containers and trying a container garden, because I don't really know like how our soil is really, but I try, and I'm hoping that my mom's forsythia bush will grow, because I know she really wants a forsythia bush, and she keeps trying that. So yeah, hope you liked this little video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!